And welcome back to Hodges Stadium here on the campus of the University of North Florida in Jacksonville. The fourth and final day of the 2012 FHSAA Boys and Girls Track and Field Championships today. The Class 4A championship meet. South Dade will be in lane 1, Boyd Anderson in 2, Varela in 3, Winter Park is lane 4, Lake Brantley in 5, Colonial in 6, Olympia in 7, Park Vista in 8, and Bloomingdale in lane 9.
Well, this is a matchup that everybody's been kind of looking forward to once again. Wanting to see the teams from Lake Brantley and Colonial toe the line once again. Will we get a chance to see Arroyo and Texera on the anchor legs? As I look down, it looks like Texera, he's number 4 in line for Lake Brantley. And Andres Arroyo will be on the anchor, sure enough. Fastest time in the state, right around a 1:51 type of 800-meter runner. Andres Arroyo on the anchor for Colonial. So expecting that that's the way it may play out here, but we've got some other teams also in the mix. Winter Park shouldn't be too far off the pace, along with Olympia. And a team that we haven't really seen a whole lot of is Varela, but they come in with a decent seat time out of the regionals, 8:02.
So again, in lane 1, it's South Dade. Boyd Anderson is in 2. 3 is Varela. 4, Winter Park. 5, Lake Brantley. Colonial High School in 6. Olympia in 7. Park Vista is in lane 8. And in lane 9, Bloomingdale. As they will try to beat the time set in the first section by St. Thomas Aquinas, or by, yes, St. Thomas Aquinas. And we're off for section 2.
Well, both Colonial and Olympia, they're going to look an awful lot alike, both with black singlets and shorts with white lettering.
This is the boys for white.
The fastest time in the nation once again for Westfield, Virginia, 7:39.73, and the state record 7:37.76, thrown down by Atlantic Delray in 2001.
You mentioned back to the girls, St. Thomas Aquinas finished second, but they're disqualified, so they lose 8 points right off the bat there. So that's not a great start for the all-around girls title, which is going to be close probably with them and a couple other schools, including Boyd Anderson.
Yeah, that's going to really hurt St. Thomas Aquinas' chances of maybe upseating Boyd Anderson, as the guys come through right around 56 high. A runner out of Park Vista. Lake Brantley back in 3rd right now, with Colonial in 2nd. So Park Vista, Colonial, Lake Brantley, and Lake Brantley runner moving up down the backstretch, 250 meters to go into 2nd.
Lake Brantley and Colonial comes out of, as you call it, the region of death. They're in 4A. It's very tough.
Very tough to make it out of that region. If you do, you're probably going to be a medal contender when you make it to state.
And wow, a big run here, as Winter Park will take the lead. Colonial, Lake Brantley, and Park Vista are battling for 2nd. Still very close as we have our first handoff, and we are at 2 minutes.
That's a great leg for the runner out of Winter Park. Right around 155 mid. And he'll hand off to John Lindsay. Fully expect that Billy Anguish will be on the anchor for Winter Park, and sure enough, he's down there. Some of the best 800-meter runners and some of the best finishers in the middle distances we'll get a chance to see on the anchor coming up. So Lake Brantley now back in the lead. Winter Park in 2nd. Colonial, Olympia, and Varela battling it out for 3, 4, and 5.
On that leg, it is Rohan McDaniel for Lake Brantley. But here comes Winter Park.
All Right around 57 seconds for that lap. Well, John Lindsay in second. He's got some good closing speed. Also a really good steepler, believe it or not. Had a chance to see him run earlier on at Winter Park in the steeple. So John Lindsay in chase of Lake Brantley.
Lake Brantley still with the lead. Here comes Winter Park. As you mentioned, John Lindsay. They are neck and neck coming up as we approach our next handoff. And here comes Winter Park to the lead.
John Lindsay not tightening up. He's going to give Winter Park the lead with this exchange.
Now Winter Park with a slight edge. Look at the race for third, too. Varela in there.
Varela, Boyd, Anderson, and Colonial right now, step for step, running 3, 4, 5. If you're Colonial, you want to be able to close this gap and give your anchor, Andres Arroyo, a chance. You don't want him to have to make up too much room on the likes of O'Neill Texera going off to the University of South Florida next year. Andres Arroyo coming back and having to run some races later on, the 1600 and the 3200, try and get the double.
Slight lead now for Lake Brantley. As Hunter Morgan on this leg, but now here comes Winter Park again.
And this is actually John Lindsay's leg here for Winter Park.
It's like third place belongs to Olympia right now. Pardon me, Colonial in third. Varela in fourth. Top three are getting a little bit of distance. Boy, here comes Colonial, though. And they are going to battle now, go into second and maybe first.
Well, this is the matchup I think everybody wanted to see on the anchor leg. We're going to have three of the fastest 800 runners in the state. It'll be Billy Anguish, Andres Arroyo, and O'Neill Texera. And it looks like it's going to be Winter Park and Colonial. And here comes Varela. Varela's going to be in the mix now as they're going to move into third.
And here we go.
5:48 at the exchange.
And a lead for Colonial. Winter Park in second. Battle for third between Lake Brantley and Varela.
Well, right now, thinking that these guys can throw down around a 154-155 split. It looks like it ought to be right around 7:42 when it's all said and done. The state meet record 7:37.76. They would really have to throw down something special to make that happen. Well, we've seen the wheels and the gears that Andres Arroyo is able to exhibit out on the track. Running from the front now, something that we don't get a chance to see him do a whole lot. He's got Billy Anguish from Winter Park right behind him. And
amazing Andres Arroyo.
10 meters back, it's O'Neill Texera, 6:43.
Yep, Lake Brantley.
So 55-second leg for Andres Arroyo. Billy Anguish out of Winter Park in second. O'Neill Texera, he's 15 meters back of Andres Arroyo. Can he close that gap?
Now top 3 and 4 have really made some space between themselves and the rest of the pack, and now the top 3 really fanning out as well.
If you're Andres Arroyo at 200 meters, you probably want to know exactly where O'Neill Texera and Billy Anguish are. You don't want to have to do too much work if you're coming back later on, but at the same time, these guys are dangerous. You definitely want to get your team the 10 points and a really, really quick time.
Here comes Texera.
If Texera comes up on the shoulder of Arroyo, he can change gears quickly.
Lake Brantley making a run at it. But,
well, this is going to be a great time as they come across.
yes. And right around 7:39, 7:40 for Colonial. And that would challenge a national, but it's a 7:41.5. Just missed the national best time of the year in the nation. but the best time in the state this year at 7:41.5. Lake Brantley in second, right on the heels of Colonial, and third it was Winter Park.
Well, we were hoping for a really quick race, not down to the wire. You know, Angelous Serna takes care of business, makes sure that nobody's able to come back on him. O'Neill Texera, a good leg as well, and Billy Anguish. So those three, just like we thought, would be right there at the end.
Well, we think Colonial is definitely one of the favorites to win the boys 4A title today, the team title, and they get the first 10 points as they win. The 4x800 meter relay on the boys' side is coming in second place was Lake Brantley, and third it was Winter Park. Lake Brantley will be another challenger today as well for the state title. 7:41.5 for Colonial. Lake Brantley at 7:41.49. And in third place, Winter Park, who was in there most of the time. We'll get that time as well in just a moment, thanks to halfmiletiming.com. 7:42.47. Varela in fourth at 7:47.97. Fifth place goes to Olympia. Sixth, Park Vista. Seventh is Bloomingdale. Eighth, Boyd Anderson. And South Dade is ninth. So I don't know if, let's see, our top Section 1 time belonged to Wharton. Pardon me, Aquinas, 8:06.39. So they do not make the medal stand. And a reminder to, if you want DVDs of this or any broadcast of the 2012 FHSAA Boys and Girls Track Finals, go to FHSAAsports.com. You really would like to see that 3A final last night again. It makes a great gift for your family, friends, or athletes even want to check it again. And we have some great memories coming up today in Class 4A as well, as we just completed the first event of the day here at the University of North Florida in Jacksonville. And
that anchor leg by Angelous Serna right around 152, thereabouts, and obviously he could go faster. He's definitely the type of guy that could go sub 150 if pushed. Just a great talent, and really fun to see all those guys on that last anchor leg. Colonial getting a very important 10 points for their aspirations to win the state championship outright. They take care of business here in the boys 4x8.
So that's going to do it for this opening event. We'll be back in about 2 hours, 3:55. A lot going on then. Prelims and all kinds of events, including the 100-meter dashes and boys and girls side, as well as 200 meters. So we will talk to you then. And also, go ahead.
Yeah, you want to tune in later on. We're going to look for Marvin Bracey, Shayla Sanders, Armand Hoyle, Andre Arroyo, all coming back later on. Definitely tune in.
All right, this is a production of Play On Sports and the FHSAA Network. We will return at 3:55 for more action for the Class 4A state finals and the Boys and Girls Track Championships for our entire crew here in Jacksonville, and for Dr. Bob Cook of DistantPreps.com. Sorry, I'm going to get that right once. I'm Marty Paulman saying so long. We'll talk to you again in a couple hours here from Jacksonville.